My name is Mauro Porcini, and I'm 46. And right now I am in East Hampton, just outside of New York, in the middle of a forest, in my house out here, a place that I really, really love. I grew up in a village in the north of Italy called Gallarate, the first 5 years of my life, and then I moved to a town called Varese, 1 hour away from Milan, from parents from the south of Italy. So I grew up in a sort of suspension between my heritage, my origin, they were from the south, the accent of my parents was from the south, but then I was living in the real north. And back then, especially back then, there was this tension between south and north. So from the very beginning, I lived once again in this sort of suspension between two different worlds. My parents somehow protected me from many truths in the world, in reality, many things that eventually other kids are exposed to from the very beginning. For them, the idea of wealth, success, networking, all these things that today you can find everywhere in social media, they are the drivers of many people, even when they're really, really young. My parents never talked about that. And so I grew up with this naivete to the extreme, thinking that the two most important things in life were what my parents were telling me they were: being a good person and culture. I find myself thinking in English as a language, and then as a mindset is a mix between the two worlds. Probably my diaper. Being kind. I try to clear up my mind and walk in nature. I deeply love nature. And it could be done in different ways. Actually, I say walk, but immerse myself in nature. So it could be one day is riding a bike in a forest, another day is walking on the beach, but literally clearing up my mind, and nature helps you so much in this. Look, the unicorns don't even exist in reality. They are mythological creatures in what Plato will define the world of ideas. It's something you want to tend to. And the unicorn has many, many characteristics that go from kindness to optimism, resilience, ability to dream, but ability to execute, humbleness combined with confidence, and many others. So you can't be everything to the extreme, but what you can do is to try to better yourself every single day to become that. I travel a lot. I travel the most of the time, and we may eventually find different categories of interaction that define my days, not my day, but my days. But look, even the Sundays, often I am, traveling around the world, or I come to the Hamptons and I have guests here and we have a lot of fun going to museums, to the beach, on the boat. Or we stay in New York, and again, there is always something different, something new going on. I don't have kids yet, so that's I think when I will have kids, I will need to put some rules and some framework, and there will be more stability. But right now, we're like, me and my fiancée Carlotta, we're like birds, literally, flying everywhere. I referred to it earlier, is this inability to be labeled. And so often, actually every single day, you need to fight to position yourself, position your team, position design inside this world where that is not used to design. So that's probably the most difficult and complex part of my job. Richard Branson. Design in a corporate team, the good is that you can be in charge from idea all the way to commercialization. So you can control, literally, if you have a good idea, you can take it to market. If you are in an agency, you propose the idea, the concept, but then you don't control everything until the end. The negative inside the corporate world is that you need to deal with the entire organization, the complexity of the organization, sometimes the bureaucracy of that organization. But even there, I find my energy in navigating that complexity. Because innovation at the end of the day is about this. Innovation is not about the interesting idea, the interesting concept. That's an invention. Innovation is taking that idea, that invention, that concept all the way to market and being successful with that. Love. I talk a lot about love, and you're like, oh, that's, maybe it's expected, you are Italian. The reality is I talk about love in boardrooms, in business meetings, on a stage of a major business conference. And I link love to innovation, to productivity, to changing the world for good. So is an unexpected way to use the word love that is very common in my vocabulary. Not really. Zero regrets. Probably because I was always driven by this desire of acting, thinking and acting. And that gave me the possibility to try and to hurt myself and to have my failures and my successes. And so I don't remember of a specific occasion where I was like, oh, I should do something, and then I didn't do it. I'm sure it happened, but I don't remember it because I have so many things that I actually did that are filling that have been filling my life, making it very dense. And so my brain has limited capacity, so I tend to remember just the positive things that happened. So no regrets. For the longest time, there was this Italian successful white man. Somebody even knows that eventually I drive, nice cars and I have a nice boat and nice houses. And it's very saddening when I get judged on the basis of this. I keep moving my feet like continuously. And I also bite my fingers. I am a disaster. Okay. A product designer, I would invite Johnny Ive because I didn't have the possibility to meet him yet. And so it would be an interesting conversation. I would invite a friend of mine because it's always an interesting conversation with him, and it's Bjarke Ingels. I'm really inspired by Simon Sinek. I had the possibility to meet him in the past, and I think he's one of the most inspiring author in my world, in the world of innovation that I can think of. Steven Spielberg, just because he's one of those people that belong to a world that is so far away from me and remind me of when I was a kid thinking of America and a world that I will never reach. Damien Hirsch. Not because I love his philosophy and this idea of wealth and materialism, just because I would love to have a very interesting conversation, especially with the other people I'm inviting at the table. It will be a really interesting conversation because many of us are driven by different kind of values. So it would be fun to understand what drives him. I know her, and I think it will be a beautiful touch intellectually in the room. Anna Wintour. The chef will be Davide Oldani. That is another good friend of mine, and I think he's a phenomenal chef, very renowned in Italy and beyond. And then the stylist of the evening, I have this admiration for Cenk Ahmed Taghi. But he has this sensitivity in fashion that you can apply then to everything. Look, here I'm gonna be biased. I would host it in Rome. I do think, I don't know, it's literally my preference, but I think it's one of the most beautiful cities in the planet. My sparkling water made with soda stream. So it's tap water that we carbonated with this device. And it's really, I drink it every day, and I love it because it's sustainable and it's super healthy. I will tell them, I will teach them to find the right balance. I dream of a world where you can still have a candy, a cake, a glass of wine, or a beer that has more calories than the fizzy drinks, and many of the things that we treat as treats. But you need to have the right balance, and therefore the base is education. I would love to go to Mars. I didn't tell anybody yet. The fear of losing the people I love. It's been when I thought I was in control of my life, you know, my private, personal love life, and then you lose control and you don't expect it, and so it's very painful to manage. But I think it's also been one of the most enlightening experiences of my life and made me a better person. Between 3M and PepsiCo, the commonalities is scale, global approach, American company. The big difference is that one company is all invested in technology, and that's the priority. The other one is more invested on brands, distribution, the marketing side, and the sales side. Self-esteem, growth, love, uncertainty, mindfulness, luxury. "3D, Instagram, music, both. I need both. Beaches. It's all relative. It depends on who I'm designing for. Text. I have many, but if I need to pick one, I love the blue of the ocean. A beach, wherever it is. Unfortunately, Instagram. Pizza. The summer. If it's not social media, I love the health apps, and I have a few. But for instance, one that monitor my sleep is magic, and that's the only reason why I have this Apple Watch. So anything that helps me monitoring my body is magic. I need to do more and more and more. I really need to drive innovation to the next level in my life. We need to reach it first. And then if we reach it, then we arrive in the age of happiness. It doesn't exist, but in this collective heart of people, in the memory, in remembering the beauty of this world, and stop and really, learning more and more and more, than any kind of conflict, of war, of disconnection that there is amongst each other, amongst human beings, is just the most stupid thing we can do to ourselves.